Hi, welcome to another episode of Mom Does It All. If you're looking for encouragement, empowerment, and uplifting in motherhood and mompreneurship, this is a show for you. I'm your host, Marta Spurk, triplet mom, woman empowerment coach, and all things motivation extraordinaire. In this episode, I talk about how we shouldn't deny ourselves our dreams and our talents. Get clear on what you want, grab hold of it, and don't let go. Are you ready to listen to a tale or maybe a Mexican soap opera? Well, the last episode I released was like a last-minute thing, last-minute resort, because I was participating in a contest to sing the national anthem at a rodeo here in Denver, and I really wanted to reach as many people as possible and win. So now I want to tell you the story of all that happened and my main takeaways, the main lessons that I've gotten from this whole experience, which is not even over yet, because I will get to sing, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let me just tell you the story, because there's a lot behind all of this, and I do want to go back in time and talk to you a little bit more about my obsession with the United States and American culture. And like I've said, I believe a few times before, I don't know where it comes from. I'm still trying to figure that out. All I know is that I was maybe born with this, or it just started at a very young age for whatever reason. And I've had a vision of myself living in the United States and just really enjoying and embracing this culture. And here I am. So my earliest memory of loving the English language and wanting to be a part of it was when I probably was about 5 or 6 years old. I remember being on the very top of like a jungle gym in the playground of the apartment I used to live in São Paulo with my cousin and my sister, which we were always together when we were young. And I remember looking up at the sky and singing a New Kids on the Block song. I would sing. My favorite one was "Please Don't Go Girl." And I just loved that one. I didn't sing it right. I didn't know what I was saying, but I loved it. And that was just like the beginning of me loving to sing and loving English. And another memory that I have, and I was probably a teenager by then, like 12 years old, I used to keep a diary, and I remember one 4th of July, I drew the American flag, and I said, oh, today is the Independence Day in the United States. How amazing. I love this country. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I still have that diary, and it's in my mom's house, and I totally need to go find it when I go back to Brazil eventually. So it was something that I was already obsessed with, and I'm still trying to figure out why. And then the funniest thing is, or, I don't believe in coincidence, but check this out. I meet my husband, and then after a while of us talking, I come to find out his mom has the same birthday as I do. So she was also born December 2nd. Come to find out, she's a music teacher. That's what she does for a living. She sings. And I have loved singing ever since I was little. I took voice lessons, took piano lessons. Soon enough, I started singing in church, leading worship, and it was just a huge part of my life. We actually got invited to go to a different state in Brazil to record some songs in a studio, and I did that, and I just felt right at home. It's just what I've always loved. After getting married, I kind of took a break from that. It wasn't really the priority. And now, with all the work that I've been doing as a coach and creating my own school, I started implementing music back in because it's something that's in my heart. And with everything that I'm doing now that I'm finding my identity and who I am, who I love, and understanding that I can do whatever I want, that being a mom doesn't mean I have to deny myself my dreams and my talents. I've been incorporating everything back again and singing again. And then the whole singing the national anthem comes back into play. So my mother-in-law, she has always performed, and she's performed the national anthem for events several times. And my husband actually always plays around saying, I was always so embarrassed because my mom was always, doing something, and growing up as a teenager, it gets embarrassing, and then to marry somebody that wants to be in the spotlight all over again, it's like the universe is trying to teach him some lesson, and he's going to have to figure that out for himself. But my mother-in-law actually wrote a musical, so she's just all things music. She's always involved in musicals herself. She decided to write a musical herself as part of her master's program, and she chose to talk about the Star Spangled Banner. So she talked about the creation of the anthem, and she had someone from overseas compose the music. It was just the most beautiful thing. And I came into a very patriotic family, which was only fitting since I really, really love the United States. And at the same time, it's been really, really nice to see them embrace me, even though they're so patriotic and so conservative. And they understand my love for this country, and they've just have welcomed me with open arms. And that's something that I always say, how blessed I was to be in this family, because I know so many people that complain of their husband's family or their significant other's family. And I have to say, everyone has issues. There's drama in every family, but I am blessed. I am really, really blessed to be a Spurk. Let's just say that. And anyways, always loved music, always listening to the radio. And recently I started listening more to the country station here in Denver. But I've always loved country too. I think, I have to say I love all kinds of music. I've always been drawn more to the R&B and soul style. And that's another thing too. I kind of feel like I have a little bit of a black soul inside of me too. Because my favorites have always been Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston. But I was used to listening to the Dixie Chicks, Tim McGraw, Faith Hill, Keith Urban. And I even went to a Keith Urban concert last year with my sister. And then this year, I was wanting to go to a country concert with my triplet mom friend, Nicole, and we found a concert with Jason Aldean and Kane Brown. And so I was listening to the country station, all these months, since the beginning of the year. And then one day I hear them talk about, do you want to sing the national anthem at a rodeo? They're doing a contest. You can enter on the website and you'll get to sing. And I was like, cool. I've never been to a rodeo. I'm not a farm girl. I'm as urban as it gets, but hey, it's an opportunity for me to sing the national anthem in front of a bunch of people. That'd be so cool. And so the deadline was July 31st, and I kept putting it off because I'm just always so busy with all of the things. And then July 31st, I'm like, all right, this is it. I have to send it today. So I just go outside. I was about to leave for an interpreting job. I go outside, I record it really quickly, and when I go to the website to upload it, the page is down. And I'm like, oh my gosh, but it wasn't until today. What's going on? So I call, not the radio station, but the organization that was doing it, which was called National Western. I called them and I say, hey, I'm wanting to submit my video for the national anthem contest. And she said, well, but the deadline was yesterday. And I said, no, but on the radio station's website, it says it's July 31st. And she says, oh, they said it's July 31st. All right, well, just send me an email with the link to your video and I'll add yours to the mix. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I send it in, and then she responds and says, okay, we're going to sit with all the other organizers and we're going to choose the 16 finalists. I'll send you an email to let you know if you made it. A couple hours later, she sends an email saying, congratulations, you're one of the 16 finalists. And that was it. So I started sharing it and telling people, all right, you got to vote for me. And I shared it with even some of the interpreters, and they sent like mass emails to all the interpreters to vote for me. And I started sharing on Facebook. But I started noticing that some people started getting lots of votes really fast. And I was like, what is going on? I know so many people. I've been sharing with so many people. Why am I not growing in votes as well? And all of that happened right when I was supposed to leave for Nebraska for that wedding. And I got sick, like I'd mentioned before. It was just crazy. And while I was still there, and all Shane's family started saying, oh, so you're in this contest. That's so cool. I've been voting for you every day. And I was like, yeah, but I'm kind of behind. So a friend actually messaged me and said, hey, you should start sharing this in Brazilian groups, in Brazilians living in the United States groups from different states, and tell them to help you. And I said, okay, that's a genius idea. So I started doing that. And this is where, the takeaway here begins, because the biggest supporters that I've had through this entire thing were Brazilians. And I was just amazed and just so grateful, because it has everything to do with the work that I'm doing right now, right? So to feel this support, it was almost like confirmation of what I'm supposed to be doing. So I shared it in these groups. And then in a couple days, I went to third place and then to second place. So I feel like it was mid-August. So after a couple weeks of the contest officially beginning, I went into second place. So I was in second place for a long time. And then I couldn't help but notice who was on first place, which was this little girl, Josie. And I come to find out she is a farmer. Her whole family is a farmer. And I started feeling kind of bad, like, oh my gosh, here this little girl is, she has a dream of singing the national anthem, and she is someone that, works with cattle, and this is a contest for rodeo. And I started second guessing my own desire and my own dream to think, maybe I should just let it go and not push so hard for this, because maybe this is her time. And in the very last week, I decided to push harder because I was so close for so long. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep sharing. I don't have to accept defeat just yet. It's not over, right? And so I started sharing. And I was just like a couple hundred votes away, or 100 votes away, and then I'd be behind 500 votes. And then the very last night, well, the day before last, which was Saturday, I actually went over. But then quickly I went down again. And I was like, all right, guys, this is the very last day. I shared for the very last time with everybody in all of the groups. And I had so many people messaging me saying, oh my gosh, I have a feeling you're going to win. I have so many friends voting. I've been using different computers at my job to vote for you. I've been going to libraries to vote for you. Like, the things that people did were just insane. And I started going up. And then I even shared on my Facebook, and I was like, oh my gosh, guys, this is so nerve-wracking, kind of like the final of a World Cup back when I cared, just living in Brazil my entire life. Soccer is just the thing to watch, and we were just fanatics and obsessed. Even when it was overseas and the games were like at 2 a.m, we'd stay up to watch them. And another thing that it made me think about was how the Patriots always have ridiculous comebacks. It's like, all right, the Patriots are losing. No, last few minutes of the fourth quarter, and they come back, and you're like, how? And that's how I felt. I was just overwhelmed with emotion and just so excited that was happening. And I started climbing up, and I was just so excited. And when I was in first place in the last few hours of the contest, I noticed I had some unread messages in my hidden folder on Instagram. And then when I look, it's actually messages from the supporters of the other contestant telling me to drop out and saying, you're ruining this little girl's dream. You have to drop out. I can't believe you're doing this. What is MARTA short for? Dream crusher? You can't destroy this little girl's dream. And then, of course, I broke down and started crying. I shared it with some friends that were up because it was like almost midnight, which was supposed to be the end of the contest. And I had so many friends that were up exchanging messages and telling me, all right, you're going to win. Oh my gosh, it's almost over. 15 more minutes. And I had people in Brazil, 3 hours ahead of us. It was 3 a.m. there, and they were up. They were like, I can't sleep. I need to see this. It was just insane. And then I shared it with them, and they're like, this is ridiculous. This is your dream too. You are wanting to realize MARTA as a little girl's dream. And I started thinking back into all those stories that I just shared you. Like, yes, I am 32 years old, but I've realized the dream of living in the United States. And I want to realize this dream of singing the national anthem and supporting this country that has embraced me, And especially with all the Brazilians supporting me, it's like I am almost like realizing their dream too. I am representing them in this of coming to the United States to look for a better life and building yourself up here. And granted, I didn't start from scratch because my husband's American. Yes, I had that advantage, but I have my own profession here as an interpreter. I have made myself here too because of the opportunities in this country. So nothing was handed to me. I have attracted and I have accomplished these things because I've gone for them, just like I did with this concert. And I'm a very, very passionate person about the things that I do. And so I have the right to sing this too. I'm in this competition. People are supporting me, and I have all the rights to do that. And what's even more amazing too is that I had people from all over the world voting for me. Like, this entire work that I have done for the last 3 years, sharing my life on social media, has really given me the fruits of supporters and friendships and love from all these people. And, all the times that I have doubted myself and second guessed the decision of doing what I'm doing online and spreading this message, all of it was confirmed by this contest. That I have people that care and love for me and that have been blessed by me. That's the reason why they have supported me, because they believe in me. They know that I have, a good mission in supporting women and spreading good. And I even one of the triplet moms, because I share this with all the moms of multiples, she lives in Saudi Arabia, and she was like, you had so many votes from Saudi. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's insane. Because I know there were people from Europe and Asia, just all over the world voting for me. And I was just so grateful. But comes midnight, comes 1 a.m., the site is still up. Voting is still going. And I'm like, hold on, I won. I'm in first place. Why is the site still up? And so talking to my friends, they're like, just send a screenshot of your screen showing that you're ahead with the timestamp past midnight and tell them I don't know what's going on, but I'm ahead. So I did that. I was just so ready to go to bed, but I didn't, I was afraid of what was going to happen. And so I finally went to sleep. Didn't sleep very long, but went to sleep. And then in the morning, the organizers from the contest respond and say, yes, there was a mistake. The page didn't go down when it was supposed to go. So we're going to have to backtrack and count the votes from midnight and on, and then delete them. I'll get back to you in a few hours. So the longest few hours of my life. And then she responds and says, hi, Marta, thanks for participating. Unfortunately, you lost by 555 votes. And I'm like, how is that possible? I was ahead. I don't want to argue or anything, but I just want to understand the system of counting of votes because I was ahead. And then they send me an email back explaining how they count the votes and basically saying that I had 1,600 votes after midnight. So that's why they had to delete that, and that's what made me lose, which it wasn't true. I was ahead at midnight. I didn't have 1,600 votes after midnight. That's impossible. And I shared this on social media. I said, because people were asking me, they're like, all right, so what happened? The contest ended yesterday. Did you win? I had so many people invested in this. They wanted to know the results. And I shared the explanation with them, and they were like, that doesn't make any sense. This is ridiculous. And they took it upon themselves to message the organization and tell them, Marta won. What is happening? What is going on? And I told them, guys, I don't want to cause any problems. I don't want to cause drama. This is really not me. I don't understand what happened. But please don't do anything crazy. And I even had a friend say, like, stay out of it. This is not for you to do. Just stay out of it. And then they started contacting them. And I'm sure they weren't very nice because they were pissed. But what happened was they actually emailed me back and said I shouldn't have shared that information, which I am very sorry, and I apologized because they were only going to announce the winner afterwards. I wasn't supposed to share that information because it wasn't official until they announced it, right? But I was so confused that I shared it beforehand. And so that was that, because then even with all the messages and everything that my friends sent, they said that they wouldn't change their decision. And I was just devastated. Devastated because of the hate messages, devastated because it was just unfair. I won. And then I receive a message from someone that is close to the family of the other contestant saying, I've been following this entire thing. I am so sorry, and I apologize for the hate messages. It did not come from our family. But I know you won. We know you won. We were up. We saw it. You won. I don't know what kind of mistake they made, but you won. And that was, really, really comforting. I really thanked that lady. And I said, I don't know what happened either. This is not right, but I don't want to cause a mess. And I know this is her dream too. So, if she gets to do it, then it is what it is. I'm very grateful for all the support that I got. And then the next morning, that's why I told you this is a freaking Mexican soap opera. The next morning, the organizers call me and they say, can I call me? They email me and say, can we talk on the phone? And so we talk on the phone and they say, we really don't understand what happened, that our counting, that our tallying is so different than the screenshots. And we got several even nasty messages from your friends. And we've had this contest for 7 years every summer, and it's never been this big. Literally, both of us had over 9,000 votes, and the other contestants had like 500. And so it was a lot of people involved in this on both sides. And so they recognized this, and their decision was, we've already informed the family that she is the winner, but given the circumstances, we are going to consider doing co-winners. So you're both going to be winners. Is that something that interests you? And I was like, yes, definitely. Thank you. And so they informed the family too. And then I waited until they announced it. They made a post, tagged the both of us, and said, we have co-winners for this year's National Anthem contest. And they're both going to sing at different performances, different rodeos, doing the 2 weeks. Because the event is 2 weeks. And so she's going to get to sing 1 week, and I'm going to get to sing the other week. And I was just so happy. And so I waited until they posted that, and I shared it, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, justice was served. God is good. Because so many people at the same time were like, this is so unfair, but you know what? God's got something better for you. This was just, a stepping stone. There's something out there better for you. There are bigger stages for you to bless people with your voice. And I was like, you know what? I really do believe that. I really do believe this entire experience, it's not about the outcome, it's about what I learn. And even though I do get to sing now, which I'm going to share more details once they let me know which day and when exactly, because all my friends want to go watch me, and I'm so excited about that. But the whole takeaway here was, guys, things don't happen overnight, okay? What you do today, you might not see anything tomorrow, and it might discourage you to even keep going, but it takes time. It takes time because you have to learn, and there's so many other people involved. And so all of the work that I have been doing for these 3 years, sometimes it seems so exhausting and pointless. But then I get confirmations from people telling me that they're blessed, from people telling me that they support me. And this was a huge confirmation, because when I hear a confirmation from one person that's like, oh, it blesses my heart. Okay, I will keep going. But then when you see people from all over the world caring about you and wanting to support your dream, it's like, I've made it. How does that song go? Hey there, Ma, I made it. Right? Like, yes. And even with the hate mail, my coach was telling me, you've made it when you got haters, because that's when, you've reached past the circle of family and friends. And I have. And not that making it, quote unquote, is my goal here, but just to know that my message is reaching people, and that they, because this ultimately is what what I've been doing, is that I want to follow my dreams. I don't want to deny myself my desires just because I became a mom. And this is what I have been sharing on the Mom Does It All podcast, is like, you can do it all. You can pursue your dreams. It doesn't stop here. This is just the beginning, because that's how I have felt. And that's the message that I want to share with other women, and to see them support me in this, it shows me that I am going far, and it's not overnight, and that's okay, because look at all of the lessons that I've been learning, and this is just a huge turning point for me. Just starting to work with Brazilians was a huge turning point for me because of the return and the feedback that I've been getting, but this whole experience was a huge turning point too. So thank you for sticking around to listen to this whole story, but the takeaway here is just wait. Just wait and believe, and don't give up. Refuse to give up, because this is not only for you, but for the people around you. You're setting the example of determination, of pursuing what you want, just going for it. This is, you're modeling this to your kids. You're modeling this to other people. And I even came up with this when I was updating my website. I didn't know what to put, under 3 pictures that I chose, because it's kind of like the layout that they have for the website. And I just wrote these things. And then afterwards, my coach was like, this is genius. This could be your slogan, which I said, for you. Do this for you. Empower yourself for you, because you deserve it. For them. Do this for them. Do this for your kids, because you're modeling this to them. You're showing them the way to believe in themselves. And then for us, do this for other women around you, and empower them and show them that because you can do it, they can do it too. If they're given this permission by people around them, then they will do it too. So literally just focus on who you are and what you want out of this life, and just grab hold of it and don't let go, because You're only here this one time, at least as you know it right now, regardless of your beliefs. So you might as well make the most of it. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Thank you for your support, always. I'm so blessed. I'm so grateful. Please know you have a special place in my heart forever. Take care.